Hello, everyone, and welcome to WSSEA Fall 2024 season powered by LandFest here. We are into week number 7. We've got two very tough teams going head-to-head today. But first, my name is Hot Sauce, and in the booth with me today, as always, the legendary Nyarko. How are we feeling today, my friend?
Absolutely fantastic, as always. An honor to cast with you, Hot Sauce. And I really wish we were at a physical booth together, but alas, we'll have to do with online air. But that is going to be the case for everybody on matchups, right? East Valley High School Red Devils versus Selah High School Vikings, aka Slamtown. Both of these teams pushing towards the top of the charts here. So this should be a very interesting battle.
Yeah, the Red Devils are 4-1 on the season. Had only one match that they've dropped so far, and then of course Slamtown 5-0 as well. So looking to stay undefeated. No easy task through 7 weeks, excuse me. So we are starting out on Control, and the first map is going to be Lijiang Tower.
Lijiang Tower is a classic. Super happy to see this one within rotation. I think we've been denied the opportunity to cast this for quite a while now, Hot Sauce, but it's definitely one that has a beautiful balance of chaos and creativity behind it. A lot of different pathways by which you can attack each one of these maps. In particular, looking to see some spicy Lucio action, getting those boops off guard.
Yeah, you know, the boops are always there. I know we haven't seen as much Lucio since Juno has come out, but I don't see why you can't run both of them, right? I mean, why not? Just go for it. I know Orisa can have some success there, Doomfist. There's a lot of different opportunities for those boops there as well, but I guess we'll have to wait and see what little sub-map that we are going to be starting out on here.
Absolutely. Everybody filing on into the lobby. Selah was actually the one to bring us here to Lijiang after winning that coin flip, I believe, Hot Sauce. But as everybody gets prepared for the game, I think we should talk about the people who prepare us to get into the game. And of course, we got to start that with Zotac. We want to give a huge shout out to them, as always, for powering all of high school and middle school esports across so many different organizations, including here in WSSEA. They're the people at the very basis of this all, allowing us to bring this broadcast to you. So let's show our appreciation for the Zotac gaming community by giving them a shout out on social media. Make sure to join their community on Discord, and don't forget to use the hashtags #powered by Zotac or #ZotacUSA when you post.
Absolutely love it. And it wouldn't be complete without thanking LandFest. They've continued to build healthy communities through gaming with over 23 different chapters across 18 states. And there's over 150 different events a year. So we strongly encourage you to go to landfest.com, check out the chapters, and hopefully find an event near you.
And to round out the roster here, we got Seattle-built PCs, who I'm sure are doubtlessly itching to be pushing forward the realm of hardware. I know that we've been having some production stuff on our side with maybe some RAM misseated and whatnot. Perhaps Seattle-built PCs can help us with that. They are the people who have been creating handcrafted custom PCs trusted by the pros. Since 2020, they've been building incredible rigs for world-famous esports players, content creators with millions of fans, and even the developers of your favorite games. Seattle-built wants to work with you to create the perfect PC for your needs whenever you're ready. So if you're looking for a custom built PC built by people who care, check out Seattle Built PCs at seattlebuilt.com.
That's right. Ultimate performance, one-of-kind aesthetics, and small business value. We certainly love Seattle-built PCs, but I know with that being said, all right, you know, we talked a little bit about maybe seeing some Lucio. Are there other compositions you feel that might be kind of strong here on Lijiang Tower?
Well, I think it varies from each one of the individual maps. And Hot Sauce, I actually got to delve into your knowledge about this. What are we calling each map within a map? You know what I mean? Because Lijiang Tower is a map, but then you have Garden, right? You have the little station inside of there. It's a little bit tough for me to parse how to call those. But regardless, yeah, I think that dive composition certainly can be powerful here, but I also think that something that works as a way by which to quickly access point and then just deadlock that point is incredibly valuable. I think that things like Sigma comps, particularly on the more indoor oriented maps here within Lijiang Tower, like Market, can really benefit from a character like that. You already mentioned things like the Orisa. I like the idea of having the contrasting tank wars that are possible here, right? On one side, perhaps we have this Winston that everybody, including Warby, MG7, the Boyo Cat, Agent Guest, and Dark Zero have as their profile picks, versus something that's a little bit more on that other side of things, the Sigma, the Orisa, these bulwarks are looking to just hold the line. That's always really fun to see. I think Ball actually has a lot of really cool angles he can play on this map, but you also have to be maximally confident that you know how to navigate with that guy. Otherwise, you're launching yourself over an edge with no way back.
Yeah, and I think I just call them sub maps. I know we've got like Night
There we go.
Market, Garden. I think Control Center is the other one. Garden, obviously, I think kind of leans toward the team that can roll out faster. If you're a little slow moving and you don't get to that bridge quick enough, you're at risk of being booped off. And we talked a little bit about that as well. So. We certainly have seen a ton of Orisa this season. Maga has kind of made his way back into it a little bit, can be another one of those characters that can just kind of be frustrating to deal with at times and can also just really put out that damage. And again, I say it too much probably, but I love the fact that he's got his little names for his guns too. We got Gunny and Cha Cha, and like, I don't know, I love seeing Maga. I picked up the Jade skin for the weapons for him quite a time back as well, but. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if we do get to start off on Garden or if we'll be headed to Night Market or Control Center.
I really need to know canonically which one of his guns he named first, Hot Sauce. My suspicion is that he named one Cha-Cha and then just ran out of ideas on what to name the other one.
Yeah, I was a little upset because I believe Gunny is the one that sets you on fire, and then Cha-Cha is the one that does the crit damage, which I feel like maybe it should be the other way around.
Agreed.
Cha-Cha sounds a little spicier to me. But yeah, I love the name Cha-Cha. Gunny kind of is just like, a cute little Gunny maybe. I don't know. But yeah, maybe ran out of little pet names there for the guns, but nonetheless can certainly put a hailstorm of bullets downfield that you often don't want to be on the other side of.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see whether or not the Malga comes out while we're still talking about this guy, because I think in many cases what we've been seeing with him rising throughout the ranks here in WSSEA is people who are very much being trained to play one specific front to back style of composition where you're dumping all your healing into the Malga. He's kind of working as this guy who's slowly forging forward with your team. But when you're looking at these people at the very top of the ranks who clearly have a lot of in-game chops and a lot of experience under the belt, who could play more flexible styles, I feel that he kind of falls off in this meta, and not having a shield, particularly if you're looking to play more defensively or slower, can be really painful, especially on something like Garden, which luckily we're locking into first. Let's see these rollouts.
Hey, maybe they heard us and the Overwatch gods have answered. So we'll take a look at the compositions here shortly so we can get to see who might be that quicker team to get out there. And Malga, as you mentioned, has had a lot of success, but there are certain characters like Sigma or Orisa that can kind of nullify that overheal, and again, so I feel like there are some really good counters. I am loving the Doomfist here. It does look like on the other side of things here for the Red Devils, that rollout might not be as quick coming from the Ramatra. Obviously, you have the Juno there, but Ramatra isn't the quickest of tanks.
Yeah, in order to get faster, you need to go big boy right off the bat, and that is a crucial cooldown to have on first meeting. And so I imagine that you are going to try to keep that in your back pocket. So without a Lucio to boost you, you're really looking at this Juno probably getting to the fight first in favor of East Valley High School. Overall, though, although individual members of Selah could definitely match up, I'm just a bit worried about you just crashing into a bunch of people while you are alone as, say, a Genji here or maybe the Doomfist. Regardless, though, things look relatively evenly matched. We aren't getting any big meetings across the bridge just yet, but notably, people already are going down. That's going to be Ruby TK56 on Selah's side, blown up early on this Brigitte, and without that healing available, Velcon is soon to follow. Sane goes down. Ragu as well is going to be melted here, and East Valley High School will take the point first.
Yeah, great job of pressuring in. I honestly like the rollout from Slamtown a little bit better here, but the Red Devil is able to come in, execute this plan nicely, and now they have an opportunity to kind of get set up around this bridge themselves. Maybe Brigitte could find the boot, but other than that, they really don't have a ton of characters that are going to be able to knock them off the side here.
And sometimes people get a little bit too caught up in the gimmicks, right? I know I certainly have died and griefed my team many a time playing Lucio, just trying to go for bridge boots when really I should have been playing further back or defensively looking for the rest of my team. Velka right there are almost in a dangerous situation. Is going to have to expend that dash to get to safety, but still manages to do so, and that's what I'm talking about. Sometimes it's just all about the raw damage they're putting out here. Boingo Cat doing a great job, though, holding the line, drops the shield down, trying to go face-to-face with this Doomfist, who eventually has to go back lest he wither under this hail of bullets. Now trying to wrap around the far side. They've isolated the Brigitte. MJ7 Dark Zero going to follow Werby into the death realm, and now it's only the Boingo Cat left alive, but this should be enough for the retake. Good stuff coming out of Slamtown in order to stabilize.
Yeah, not quite allowing them to get to 50% as well. And if we take a look at that alt economy, slightly favoring Slamtown here for the time being. Ragu has the Deadeye here as well. And again, they're just kind of getting in position around this bridge. Doomfist trying to lock down exactly whether they're going to go left or right here. Jumps across, looks for the slam down, now into the face again. Brigitte doing a good job of keeping it at bay just a bit and kind of helping to supplement and mitigate a bit of this damage coming in. Doomfist maybe have overextended just a bit, stuck into the corner, and that could spell trouble here.
At the same time, he's still going to be able to force out the ultimate from Morby, so the rally is down, and in fact, he's still going to be able to survive through at least a little bit more offense by popping the ultimate of his own. Eventually is going to fall, though, and now it's a 5v4 situation. Make it a 5v3 as Ragu peeks a corner. It really shouldn't have, and this should be enough to where only off of Brigitte's rally, we see the blue squad get back in there and hopefully stabilize. Teleport in, though. Aggressive stuff coming through from the entirety of East Valley High School. The Red Devils certainly do not want anybody sneaking out of the point or holding it for longer than is necessary. Velcon is going to be dead as well. Morphine time goes down a second time in just a few moments here. And in fact, it will be East Valley not only getting the point back, but actually exceeding the percentage ticked up by Slamtown.
Yeah, and unfortunately, they didn't get hardly any value from the Meteor Strike. The Deadeye wasn't able to find anybody as well, so they will have a few more ults to work with here, but unfortunately right now, Red Devils looking to lock down this bridge. They have a good hold onto the point. Up top, Ragu looking to pepper in some shots of their own, but again, it's Morphine who is dangerously low. Sane is low here as well. The Kitsune Rush doesn't even get to come out, and Ragu eventually gets a trade back now in a 4v4 situation, trying to find some footing across the bridge, but not able to do so. We see the Death Blossom being held here for the time being. Agent Guest could pop it at any moment, but it's Velcon with a 2K as the blade will slice and dice.
Absolutely beautiful stuff coming through from Velcon, and it's so back and forth. Not even going to have to hit overtime for Selah to be able to get the retake, and now they're in a great position. They just need to be able to pivot off of Kitsune Rush, and Ragu and Morphine Time's ultimates are coming up. If they are able to hold this for a while longer, this is going to be an evenly matched ult stack on either side, and I think that this is one in which Slamtown, given their favorable position, should be able to take home. Time is ticking now for East Valley to make a strike.
Gotta make a strike. They have the Annihilation to work with here as well, which can be very devastating, especially right here on the point where it is a lot more close and combined. And Brigitte about to have the rally on deck here as well. We're most likely going to see all these fights, or all these ults, excuse me, popped here in this final fight.
Absolutely, that's Annihilation coming down. Rally at the back end of this one as well. Werby is going to be taken out, but it's at the cost of 2 for the side of Selah. And now with the Meteor Strike not doing a whole lot of contact, MG7 is going to go down, but now Morphine Time's in a dicey situation, going to be taken out. Agent Guest with the Death Blossom going to be able to stabilize the point during overtime. Now it's a recap for East Valley HS, and I don't think there's enough time for the response here. Selah doesn't have their tank up. Sane going to go Lucio, trying to touch the point in time. Velcon already on it to occupy space for the time being. Big form on top of the Ramadra, looking to just punch him down. We'll be able to do so. Dark Zero dead on the back end of this one. Here comes the reapproach. Sane dies during it. Ragu on the Tracer, also not able to hold, and I think East Valley High School have done it. They have gotten the first sub-map.
Yeah, phenomenal job. I mean, we saw them trying to find their way back out of the point. The overtime fuse still lit, but unfortunately it was just stagger after stagger. But that's really all you can do at that point, is look to get to the point, extend that overtime, and hope for the best. So a very, very close sub-map here to start things off.
Absolutely. And this is the thing, it's not only talking about map versus sub-map here, Hot Sauce, but what are we calling this best of 3 inside of a best of 3?
That's exactly it. It's an inception, right? It's a best of 3 within a best of 3. It's a little bit of extra Overwatch, and certainly we all love that. So, yeah, just a little series within its own series here, and you know, a good start here, but a very close one to start things off. And now this is a little bit more enclosed as well, not as open like that last map there on Guarded.
Absolutely. Now, that being said, we are seeing some alterations to compositions, but not to the drastic degree that I was expecting, going from the outside to the inside, right? Velcon notably is going on to the Venture here, and do I love some Venture gaming, at least from a design standpoint. Actually trying to play this character, I'm terrible. I don't know what I'm doing. Regardless, damage already coming out. Velcon gonna have to fall back slightly here, as now we're hopping into the POV of East Valley High School. We're being torn apart right now. Agent Guest already dead. Dark Zero going to follow them into the Shadow Realm, and down goes everybody. MJ7 having to fall all the way back here gives plenty of time for Selah to not only capture the point first, but rally their forces and get them into favorable positions for what is going to be an attempted reapproach from the Red Devils.
Yeah, Morphine Time said, forget the Doomfist. I can play Ramatra too, and I love a little bit of mirror action here going, head to head. And Velcon from that Genji onto the Venture, I think going to get a lot more value from Venture. Certainly a very devastating DPS, and just the verticality, the mobility of Velcon on this Venture could be huge.
Yep, I really want to see what this character can do. One of the rarest picks here in WSSEA for the time being. MJ Sev, on the other hand, playing a constant companion here at this high level. Long sightlines means immediately we're getting the sniper coming on out here. Warby, in fact, going to transition over to the Ana as well for the double fight at range, trying to answer back against these short-range assassination potential of the likes of Velcon here. These are squishy members, though, that can be engaged upon. And Velcon has found their angle. Dark Zero dead. MJ7 in trouble. Run down with the drill. The Boyo Cat is going to fall. Warby has no answer as a lone Ana, and so that's 2 fights in a row, back-to-back, won by Slamtown, and that is usually enough to get them way far ahead on ultimate charge, and therefore probably the second map.
Yeah, I mean, when you're up 60% to nothing, unless a team can really put a hold on and win multiple fights in a row, I mean, usually you just set yourself up for success at this point. And honestly, I mean, it looks like a completely different team with just this Venture and Ramatra switch here coming out. I mean, a dominating second map thus far, but they still have a little bit of ways to go here to close it out.
That being said, that way is getting smaller every single second, now up to 80%. We need to see the retake come through soon. Morphine Time with their Annihilation available. The Boyo Cat barely halfway to that same milestone. Going to be in trouble if we do see a force here early by Selah versus the side of East Valley High School. And unfortunately, a mispositioned Warby and Dark Zero with the Juno ultimate coming on out here means that this is a perfect situation for Selah to continue to starve the blue squad of all of their resources. And look at the answer here. They are just going to walk down everybody in overtime. There is barely an answer in the form of Warby swapping over to the Lucio. But when you are alone, face it out of Annihilation, there's only so much you can do. Credit is where credit's due. Slamtown have tied the sub-series.
Yeah, I mean, you love when you see a team that is able to make adjustments and react to a previous round, and that's exactly what they did. And these adjustments, not only did they work, but they worked 100 to nothing. So we went from like a 96 to 100 game, or 99 to 100 to 100 to nothing. So now the ball is in the court of the Red Devils. What can they do? Are they going to make any swaps here to try and slow down or hinder Slamtown a bit?
This Reinhardt pick, I feel, is very high risk, high reward, can do a lot in the enclosed space of the actual point on night market. Outside of that, though, there's a lot of long sight lines that he can be harried by. Now, on the side of Selah, they aren't actually swapping too much, so you aren't looking at a poke battle. Instead, Velcon might actually get bogarted here by the Boingo Cat. That's a big dynamic. Can the Venture get value up against a much more in-your-face style of tank? I like Agent Guest over on the Junkrat. Not a very standard pick here. You're lacking any amount of just point and click hit scan shots coming through for the side of East Valley High School, but I don't know if it's needed when, like I said before, Selah are trying to play so Smash Mouth.
Rocky's going to find the first one with that May. Morphine Time now. Velcon, an early success yet again. It does look like Ryan and May were able to get a pick of their own, but unfortunately the team kill will come in, and with that it'll be another early capture here for Slamtown.
And this indicates to me that right now East Valley High School just do not have a response to the composition and strategy coming through from Selah. On the 5v5, when you just raw dog it versus the likes of Velcon and company, it seems like it's going to be Slamtown all the way, just able to do more damage, win their individual duels, and then create multi-man collapses upon the remaining members of the Red Devils here. MJ7 in particular should be a real stalwart means by which to stabilize fights on this May, but unfortunately they just aren't doing enough to make up for the fact that Agent Guest is oftentimes having to get deep in there and is getting punished for doing so. Right there, dead again, and already Annihilation being popped here by this Ramatra. A double charge probably going to be in the future of this matchup. That's not something you see every day, but what is a very common sight for Selah is another team kill.
Yeah, I mean, a 2K for Morphine Time, a 2K for Ragu as well, who's having a heck of a game here on May, and a character that can just be very frustrating as well, doing a great job of kind of separating the team at times and isolating some of these fights here, really giving their team that advantage. And we see here now Slamtown has crested that 50% mark, so looking very strong here in map number 3.
Yeah, this is a great showing. Obviously, a little bit on the back foot from that first map, and it doesn't matter. Unperturbed, they're trying to forge on in. Dark Zero, though, leading the charge from the side of East Valley High School, knowing that they got to do something here and now. MJ Seb firing off, or has the Blizzard at their back. Meanwhile, Ragu actually is the one who fires off the Blizzard, and that is going to be enough for another one fight. Selah need to do what they can with these 3 remaining ultimates, but I don't know if, given how coordinated Selah are, that will be enough, even as they are currently in a resource advantage.
Yeah, I like to swap to Maga here as well, just to try something different, but I got to wonder if maybe it came in a bit too late. They still have 3 ults to work with, including that Riptire and that Blizzard that you talked about, so it does look like they will be able to come into contention here. We see the counter May wall coming up. The Blizzard does go down, and MJ able to find the first pick on the Ruby. It could be the player advantage they need, but Morphine time, toe-to-toe, throwing bows, finds that equalizer there as well, and back to a 4v4. Everybody right now duking it out on the point as the overtime fuse has been lit.
And what a move there from Velcon, and he's just tearing everybody apart here on the stairwell. Multiple ultimates, it doesn't matter. East Valley High School cannot step to Slamtown, as that is going to be Lijiang Tower claimed by the red team.
Yeah, I mean, after a phenomenal start from the Red Devils as well, Slamtown able to make those adjustments, carry that momentum into the 3rd submap as well, and just an absolute dominating performance. We're going to take another look at the play of the game here from Ragu.
And Ragu coming through, representing Slamtown actually on this first point that was dropped by the red team, showing that even in moments of defeat, they are still rallying. They are still able to bring out those highlight moments. Credit is going to have to go over to Slamtown for this incredible showing, but East Valley High School are clearly not out of this one yet, Hot Sauce. It has been evidenced throughout that play that they clearly have a shot at taking the series. They got to stabilize, though, maybe slow the pace slightly and realize that this is a game of resources. Right there at the very end, the most worrying sign that I got from them was that they ran in, they popped all their ultimates, and it wasn't in a position in which they could force Selah to meet them face to face. They were able to back off a little bit. In fact, during that time, Venture got the flank angle, and that's what allowed for a quick re-hit before the point could even be capped, and Selah were able to shut out East Valley High School for a second point.
Yeah, I think they gotta find a way to not only deal with the Ramatra, but a way to deal with this Venture as well. Velcon certainly did all right on Genji, but that swap to Venture has been absolutely huge. Getting into that back line, causing the disruptions, and Venture just... the damage output is insane for Venture. At times, I've thought maybe she should be tuned down just a little bit, but hey, why she works, just go on and rip with it.
Yeah, they're incredibly strong, and like I said, it's kind of a knowledge check, and one that right now East Valley High School are not providing an answer for. That's a little bit worrisome, because it means that depending on what we're getting for our second map, it's going to be very easy for Velcon to go back upon this character, and like I said, they're absolutely dominant on it. Great positional awareness, and they're in turn catching so many people in East Valley unawares.
Yeah, I'm kind of shocked that it went the way it did, especially after how close that first submap was. I mean, I expected to be like that tooth and nail throughout the remainder of the series, but Slamtown, I mean, again, making those adjustments, not looking back, really playing well as a team, working off of each other, not just that, but with the ult economy as well, never expending really 2 ults in a big battle, making sure that they have some to work with, whereas on the other side of things, we saw 3 or 4 ults being dropped at a time and still not coming away the victor. So hopefully we can see those adjustments come out from Red Devil. I'm a fan of Overwatch, so I always love as much Overwatch as we can get. So I would be happy with a map 3, but I'm sure Slamtown looking to close it out here, break out the brooms, and extend that undefeated season just a little further.
They want no variance. They want no part of our fantasies of an actual series going the distance, Hot Sauce, which I don't think we've ever had so far. If we did, it's very far back in my memory. But yeah, it's been a lot of shutouts here on WSSEA, but that just demonstrates the extent to which everybody has the potential to get momentum behind them. And the mentality of these high school players is really incredible to see already. Very mature in their approach to the game. They think, we reset our mental, we jam on in, even if we drop both games. Fact of the matter is that we can come back next week and do the same to our opponents.
Yeah, and I'm glad that it's not Kings Row. I mean, I know this is Escort, so we wouldn't get Kings Row anyway, but it's nice to see a payload map that is not Kings Row. Circuit Royale is certainly a very fun map. I enjoy this map. The casino front, the vertical curving racetrack, that can be a very, very tough choke point because even if you push that payload up the hill and you get reset, now you have no payload to hide behind. That high ground can be very detrimental there. And then once you get into the hotel, we've got that close quarter combat. So Circuit Royale brings us a little bit of everything, but the doors drop and the fight wastes no time as Ragu will be the first to fall. MJ having some success on the Widow.
Absolutely will be traded back here, and this is the problem of going Widow into Velcon, who has been invited once again to play this venture, diving the backline, 2 dead, underground, able to avoid everybody, and on the fadeaway, they're taking out the Blanco Cat as well. What a showing!
Velcon could very well be the MVP of the day. I mean, you nailed it. That fadeaway was dirty. Morphine time showing that they could do more than Ramacho. Rocking the Sigma here as well, which Sigma, I feel like, does great on Circuit Royale. And it's great to see that these teams are comfortable on multiple different characters in case something does come awry or they need to find a swap.
Yeah, absolutely. That being said, Dam is kind of already broken open on this first point. It's going to be very hard to further contest this. You're really looking to just set up pretty far back now for East Valley High School. Trying to go around the far corner. MJ still staying on the Widow. This is a dicey position to be in. I like the fact that you are trying to bring Werby to your back to be able to work as a defensive measure against the likes of Velcon, but Werby is oftentimes having to stand out wide in the open and therefore dies very quickly. Dark Zero and now the support are both dead, and we will see the swap off the brig going over to the bath.
Over to the Baptista, who has been very, very strong with those recoil changes as well. But Ragu sniping with the May says, I'll go ahead and put Bastion on ice, baby. Agent will fall on the wayside. The player advantage is theirs. But how much space has been taken here? The payload back behind. We talked about how this can be a tough push, but because they're taking all this space, kind of keeping control of this high ground, it makes it that much more difficult for their counterpart.
Yeah, this is a bit of a clobbering right now. And like I said, a lot of the big hold points that you can have from that first point, now the second point, are beginning to dissolve. The tempo for East Valley High School is all over the place. They need to try to find a coherent re-push, but unfortunately, it's just so tough to do along these long sight lines. That being said, there is a chance Sane was picked off. Velcon is worryingly low, but does have their ultimate available, one of the most powerful ones in the game, and it looks like they want to go for it. Healing up under the ground, trying to find something on the flank, pops up. In fact, not even going to pull the ultimate out here, just wants more poke damage, forcing back multiple members. Morphine time, though, going to go down for the side of Selah High School. That means they need to re-rally.
Got to re-rally here, but with 4 minutes on the clock, you have plenty of time to do so. These first couple pushes from them has been near flawless, and now we see that finally Red Devils able to bring it back a little bit. Hopefully they can work off of this momentum. I'd like to see them have a very strong stand here and at least eat up 1.5 to 2 minutes.
Well, this is the contrast on the other side of what I was talking about before, where I was a little bit worried that East Valley wouldn't be able to get a good hold going. Now that they have actually held once, it's going to be much harder for Selah to push their way up this hill and make a mark. That being said, Morphine time is certainly going to open it up and show, well, maybe it isn't actually that hard. In fact, on the flank, not only are they going to help find 3, but there goes the 4th and the 5th. A team kill, and I need to keep biting my tongue here, Hot Sauce, because my goodness, time and time again, Slamtown are just defying expectations.
Yeah, I mean, Sane went insane there, finding 2 with Juno. Morphine time, letting the melody ring and sing out loud as they really pushed through that second point, and that high ground was going to be tough for them to push up into, but apparently not, as they seamlessly had no issues up there finding this second checkpoint, and now with 4:29 to get through the hotel is a ton of time here.
Hey, shout out to Ruby TK56 for pulling out the Life Weaver. One of my favorite supports, just not play that frequently. As soon as I say that, the caster curse comes in clutch, and they are immediately deleted off the map by MJ Seth, who now is going to be able to see where everybody is, popping that ultimate, getting full line of sight. Boingo Cat trying to stabilize here, won't be able to do so though, and so there are picks going back and forth. With Ragu dead for the time being, this could be an opportunity by which East Valley High School rally, but they have to be careful. Agent Guess is incredibly low right now, and a pick could lead to an immense stagger. Werby going to go down, fulfill that prophecy, and At this point, Hot Sauce, just take the wheel, my man. I am saying everything that just goes the opposite direction.
Hey, it happens sometimes. The caster curse can also be a caster blessing, and I could be wrong here as well, but I think the Boingo Cat was on tank last time, so
yes.
Even switching up a little bit of roles here, we see Dark Zero on that Ramatra. Agent has this Death Blossom as well, so hopefully they can get it to bloom into maybe a Quadra or a Pentakill. They need something big here because that payload is almost to its final destination.
Well, there is a big choke coming up. This is the right time for Agent Guest to try to find an angle. Unfortunately, high ground is at a premium here, at least to approach from behind. Maybe a long flank could be the call, but while that is happening, it'd be very easy for the 5-stack of Slamtown to just make it through and get their victory. 3 minutes left on the clock here on the third point. Trying to make something happen. Velcon is all the way behind enemy lines right now, and nobody is seeing this venture.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that nobody's... I think they're a little surprised, too, looking around. Why isn't nobody coming for me? Free reign in the back line could spell trouble here as they continue to assert their dominance, but we do see some nice stops here coming out late from Red Devil. They've been able to eat up at least a couple minutes off of that clock. We saw 4:30-something initially on this final push, so at a minimum, have been able to eat off a couple minutes and maybe can work toward taking that momentum into the following round. Certainly making a nice last stand here as MJ will find a pick onto Ruby.
Yep, Morphing Time pops the ultimate, doesn't get a whole lot off of it with Ruby dead, Insane soon to follow. There's not a whole lot for Selah to try to work off this push. Agent Guest working as cleanup, gonna pop their ultimate, realizing how many members of Blue Squad have fallen. East Valley High School may still not be able to hold even after the triple kill, and that's enough. Incredible rally here for the remaining members of Slamtown to take it home with 2 minutes remaining.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think that Death Blossom came in just a hair too late. Had the right idea, couldn't quite get there in time. But, I mean, at a minimum, they were able to stall that push out for a couple minutes after really having a lot of trouble through those first 2 checkpoints. So, again, maybe starting to feel some of that success, maybe starting to find something that is working for them. So, hopefully they can carry that forward here. They're going to have one heck of a push here, though, because Slamtown is playing lights out tonight.
Absolutely, and I think a lot of this is going to come down to how these first 2 points are navigated. In particular, can you actually hold the side of East Valley High School to the pain points that they failed to hold Slamtown to? That's the real question at hand here. Very long-range composition on defense from East Valley coming out. Dark Zero going over to the Alari. I like this call. It's a very, very strong character in the right hands, but you need to land those shots. That is a requirement. That isn't the case on plenty of other supports, and I wonder if that may actually be the reason why we see the swap to the Boingo Cat going on to tank.
Yeah, Boingo back to the tank here on the Orisa this time as well, which is certainly a very strong tank, one that I really, really enjoy as well. But Sigma does very well on Circuit Royale. Of course, when you have Velcon and Ragu here peppering in this kind of crazy damage as well, I think it's going to be a tough task in front of them. But I would love to see him make it here around the same time, and I'd love to see an overtime.
Yeah, I would love to see an overtime as well. But it's going to be tough. 2 minutes is a very, very strong side. I know that we've been kind of used to Hot Sauce, a lot of really crazy shoves, 5 minutes on the clock, something like that. But no, these two teams are very well matched with one another. But still, Selah had a great half. Now they're looking to make that another turn around. Already on the push, Boingo Cat trying to helm, doesn't want him to walk too far forward out to these sight lines that can also favor members like Ragu on the side of Selah High School. Instead, going to try to navigate indoors, but is met with 2 worrisome situation. Ragu does need to reactively go into the high school here, and it's actually going to be Velcon who is picked off. Good stuff from East Valley, who wants to continue to put the pressure on, pushing back the remaining members of Red Squad, staying in a worrying position here. Ragu trying to work as a virtual tank to just slow the push coming through from the side of the Red Devils. Seems to be working relatively well. Morphine Time already somehow at 81% ult charge.
Yeah, I thought Orisa was going to be in trouble, kind of overextending into that room. It was a sea of red in there, but did a great job of sustaining, finding those early picks, and allowing their squad to just continue this push forward as we get close to this first checkpoint. But there's that ult already coming out. Morphine Time on the back line, throwing fist, finds Agent here as well, and doesn't stop just yet. The big old rock will come on out and connect with... I'm not sure who was on the other end of that, but I saw it connect there. And with that, I mean, they find a way to stall out this push yet again. They're getting close to ultimates, but not quite there. On the other side, we see Agent is close, Dark is close. But again, we didn't see them stall out like this on the push for Slamtown, so it does worry me just a little bit.
Yeah, like I said, this is one of those pain points. Now around the corner, it's going to be very tough to walk into these sight lines without the ability to just try to constantly fight and whittle people down. East Valley High School needs to walk into the jaws of the beast if they want an angle here. And you see how far Velcon can play up, looking for flank angles in that wide open area right outside the entrance of the casino that you spawn from. It's a tough position to be in, and we're seeing how that is paying dividends right now for the side of Slamtown. Agent Guest already incredibly low. Now it's going to be up to Warby to try to reverse fortune. Window coming out. They have 2 ultimates in their back pocket to follow through on this one. But so far, it's Selah just falling back saying, you can touch the point. We're going to play this corner.
Yeah, it's a great corner to play, and honestly, it's a little bit surprising. We saw that first initial push went so well here for the Red Devils, but Slamtown now able to lock it down. Sane finding 2. Ragu gets 1 as well. The Blizzard comes out, but not a ton of value from it, but it doesn't matter because they're able to find pick after pick and really set themselves up. They have that player advantage, and now Reaper has to be careful not to get picked off here.
Yeah, good job on Agent Guest being able to smoothly navigate their way back towards spawn. They aren't going to stagger the team, so there was a quick repush with 2 ultimates up that we could see East Valley High School use, but they need to make something happen here and now. Only a minute left on the clock. Agent Guest too far forward. They're going to get staggered even worse than I was expecting. Dark Zero has the ultimate available. They need to pop it now and make something from it. Sunstrike coming out, but the Boingo Cat is dead, and the Alari is soon to follow. Disastrous play from the side of the Red Devils could give Selah this entire series.
Yeah, Boingo Cat had just got the ult right as they fell as well. Agent getting picked early meant that they couldn't use the Death Blossom as well, and now they have to find a way to make this push with only 30 seconds left, and Velcon having the ult on Venture here can be incredibly deadly. Oh, it's barely going to miss the push there, so luckily for Reaper, they'll dodge a bullet and end that Venture play.
Yeah, notably Dark Zero is already dead again on this play, but Ragu is dead. Velcon and Sane are both low. Ruby 2K has been taken out. That should be enough. A saving grace as Agent Guest comes in and finds redemption off the Death Blossom.
Yeah, getting 2 with the Death Blossom and then finding 2 more for the Quadra. The overtime fuse has been lit. I think maybe they could potentially get back for 1 more fight here before it does reach that checkpoint.
Notably, Velcon now is in a material advantage, having that ultimate available, and Sigma wants to waste no time, dropping down from the high spot. They are going to try to contest before this first point is over. Now it's up to Orisa to try to hold the line for their side. Dark Zero swap it over to the Lucio, trying to drop the healing that they can with Wormy on the back line, but they get picked off early, and the Boingo Cat dies as well. High Noon firing off. Deadeye trying to find people, but Slamtown pushes them all off the point, and that's enough for them to take the series 2-0.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they were pushed off, if there was a little C9 action there, but nonetheless, you know, Slamtown able to grab the dub. They'll go 6-0 and remain undefeated. And even though the Red Devils didn't come away the victor, they come away with a play of the game, and that was right here near the end. Agent Guest finding the 2K with a Death Blossom, picking up on 2 more as Boingo found 1 as well. But unfortunately for them, that overtime fuse just didn't allow enough time for them to get to that final checkpoint. Slamtown coming in with that contention. And that Venture was absolutely huge for Slamtown.
Absolutely. I mean, what a showing from Slamtown. Frankly, neither of these teams made a bunch of critical mistakes, Hot Sauce. This was some of the cleanest gameplay that we've had here in WSSEA for Overwatch. But it comes down to now a matter of percentages, tiny little things to develop upon. While in the beginning of the season, we could have seen leaps and bounds be crested by teams for dramatic improvement from week to week. Now we're locked on in. Now the series are occurring with tighter and tighter margins, and this is a testament to that. I really think that Slamtowns deservedly take that top slot here in WSSEA, but the Red Devils are going to be major competitors, and basically against anyone else, they could be that team's downfall.
Yeah, Slamtown will go to 6-0. Red Devils will fall to 4-2. But again, another one of these top-tier teams. We very well could see them going head-to-head in the playoffs again a little bit later in that postseason, as we are now finished with Week 7. Some exciting games, and honestly, Red Devils looked very, very good in the beginning. But once Slamtown kind of made those swaps over, we saw the Sigma, the Ramatra, and of course that Venture, I think, was a huge one. They really had a ton of success and didn't look back. I mean, those last two games were really solid in favor of Slamtown.
Yeah, absolutely. Credit to Slamtown for a great showing here, demonstrating why time and time again, they're coming across our feed, Hot Sauce. We've casted them quite a few times up until this point, but that is because they are making history here within WSSEA.
Hey, we've got to give a shout out to the birdie too. What's the birdie's name?
So this is Wilfred. Hi.
Wilfred, love it. Very, very handsome bird. We appreciate the guest caster here today. Unfortunately, it is going to be all for us today, though. A pretty short and sweet one here in the Arco, as we would like to take a moment, though, to thank Zotac Gaming, Landfest, and Seattle Built PCs, as well as everybody behind the scenes here helping the stream run ever so smoothly. Of course, Jaden, Connie, Taylor, we certainly appreciate each and every one of you, as well as you hanging out and chat, whether it's the teachers or the friends, the family. We certainly appreciate each and every one of you as well. But we hope to see you back here. I believe there is Street Fighter 6 tomorrow around 4 p.m. Pacific. I hope I'm not wrong on that, but as I mentioned, that will be all for us. My name is Hot Sauce. That is the legendary Nyarko. You guys have all been amazing. We hope to see you back here tomorrow at 4 p.m. Take care, everyone.